What's up, guys? Welcome back to Between the Pylons. I'm John Camacho. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, today we are talking about the Heisman Trophy winner, wide receiver Devonta Smith. Quick side note, how awesome is it that we have a wide receiver that won the Heisman? Like, can we get something other than just the quarterback every year winning the Heisman and the MVP and all these things? Like, I love it. I think it's awesome. I want to see more of this. I want a running back to win. I want an offensive lineman to win. I want to see a corner, a defensive end, all these other positions. I want to see the best player in college football win, not just the best quarterback. And it's awesome that we got to see Devonta Smith win. I'm a huge fan of the player. I will say, I am not quite as high on Devonta Smith as I think everybody else is. I'm seeing him getting mocked in like the top 5, the top 10. I've seen him go as high as number 3 to the Dolphins. I don't quite get that. I'll be honest with you. I see him more like as 15 to 25, locked and loaded first round pick, locked and loaded future stud in the NFL. I am not taking anything away from him from that regard. So there's going to be a little bit of nuance that goes into this video. So please, like, don't hear what I'm not saying. I am absolutely not saying that this dude isn't a stud and he's not going to be great at the next level. I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm a huge fan of this guy. But there are certain things that maybe keep him out of like that top 10, top 15 range for me. And I'm going to explain why. Let's get right into it now with the film portion of this video, and then we're going to get to the skill chart after that. All right, so I do have a lot of plays to show you for Devonta Smith. I feel like he's a top prospect, and he certainly deserves to get the full range of what he can do and what he's really good at. But with that being said, I am going to go rapid fire through all of these plays. So right here, you're going to see Devonta Smith in the slot running just a basic seam route, and the Alabama Crimson Tide did this a bunch throughout the year. Just seam route, throw it to the top, and see if your man can get it one-on-one, and Devonta Smith can get it one-on-one a whole hell of a lot of the time. So good at going up and catching the ball. Such good body control, such good hands. I mean, some of the best hands in the class. Like, just doesn't drop anything. Is really good at high pointing the ball, tracking the ball. All of those things are top notch. You have no issue with that at all. But let's move on to the national championship game. You're gonna see Devonta Smith. Look, we saw him win with route running and shiftiness. Let's just see him win with speed. We're gonna see an outside release. Corner isn't able to get his hands on him, and it's just off to the races. Devonta Smith is wide open. He's just faster than this Ohio State corner, and there's just really nothing this Ohio State corner can do. And to be totally honest, it was kind of thrown poorly. Like right here, I would actually like to see the ball right here instead of right here. And honestly, if it was thrown a little bit ahead of him, and if Devonta Smith didn't have to slow down just a touch to catch this ball, he's probably getting a touchdown here, honestly, because I don't know if the safety has the amount of speed that he would need to catch up with a Devonta Smith. Maybe he does. I don't know. Just to show his true playmaking X factor ability again. I wanted to throw that in there. Obviously, national championship, we all saw that. And then again, another one for the national championship. Same kind of situation. We're sitting here at the top of your route here, and look what he is able to do. Look, actually much better coverage. Same kind of conversation. The corner's able to get his hands on him a little bit better on this rep. And look at this back shoulder throw and catch. I mean, you just can't get any better than that, man. That is just so beautiful. And look, there's no defense to this. Back shoulder, perfect timing, and the receiver is able to extend and bring that ball in, get 2 feet down. Just for those NFL scouts that are curious if he can get an extra foot down, it is an amazing play. I mean, you know, just circus level catching ability. He certainly has that as well. And then these next 2 plays, just showing what Alabama did to get him open. I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, talking about the type of routes that he ran and how much they tried to get him open. I'm not going to show everything there, but here, just a simple drag route. We got the tight end coming from the other side. He's not really running around. He's just trying to get in the way of this corner just enough. Won't ever call a flag or penalty. No contact, so it can't be a flag, but he does get in the way, does cause the corner to take an extra step, and that's really all Devonta Smith needs to get into the open field, make a dude miss, get down the sidelines, and get, 15-20 yards off a 3 or 4 yard pass. Yeah, that's playmaking ability at its finest. And then again, here, same kind of concept. We saw a ton of bubble screens, just so many bubble screens. Devonta Smith getting a bubble screen here, able to turn it up for 10 yards, and it's just tough to stop, man. You have the tight end coming. There was a blitz off of that edge, so it was the perfect play call. Tight end is able to come in, get the block. Devonta Smith has space. Devonta Smith is very dangerous in space. and easily gets the first down after kind of getting tripped up there. And with these next two plays, I want to talk about one of the bigger issues I saw with Devonta Smith's game. Now, in this play specifically, I know this is a penalty, right? At the end of this play, he clearly kind of gets held a little bit more than is okay, and a penalty flag gets thrown. I might argue it's a little ticky-tack, but I'm okay with that penalty flag being thrown. There's certainly some pass interference there. That's not really the point of this play. The point of this play is to show how he can kind of get beat up a little bit versus more physical corners when he takes the outside release, right? And I know that's very specific, but hey, when we talk about top players like this, you're going to have to nitpick a little bit, right? And right here, we'll see the corner just pinching him towards the boundary, right? And really, the corner messes up right here by looking back for the ball, has to slow down a little bit. Devonta Smith is just so quick, and then that's where you get the penalty flag, grabs the arm, doesn't allow Devonta Smith to make a play on the ball, right? But I do believe an NFL corner with a little bit more technique is going to be able to pinch him towards the boundary and take away his space and really make life hard on a Devonta Smith when he's running routes like this, right? I saw it a handful of times. I'm going to show one more example of this where something similar happens and there obviously isn't a penalty. You see, this is a little bit of a fade route, obviously takes that outside release. The corner plays it absolutely perfectly, right? Gets physical, gets a hand on him, pushes him towards the boundary, and takes away the amount of space that Devonta Smith has to catch the ball, right? The ball wasn't thrown in a bad spot. Could have been better? Sure. But Devonta Smith has really no chance of getting this ball. The corner's able to get a hand on him, able to push him off his route just a little bit, and is able to continue doing that, just pushing him towards the boundary and taking away his opportunity. Look, you could say that's pass interference, but really that's just hand fighting, right? Like hand. You'll see both guys have hands on each other. Both guys are looking for the ball. Honestly, I think 27 plays it just about perfect. And things like that are going to be something that Devonta Smith is going to have to handle. So with Devonta Smith's slight frame, I do think he is going to struggle against certain cornerback matchups in the NFL, right? He is maybe going to struggle on the boundary at times. Not all the time, but at some times I do believe he will. Physical corners that can kind of push him around, push him off his routes. Yeah, that's going to happen. He is technically brilliant. He is an awesome route runner. He is incredibly explosive, incredibly fast, has everything you want athletically. But from a size perspective, I do have some question marks, and that is what keeps him out of like the top 10 for me, because to me, the top 10 is specifically for guys that check all the boxes physically and check all the boxes from a measurable standpoint. All right. So that's kind of where I'm having a disconnect between my projections and my rankings versus everything that I'm seeing. But with that being said, let's move on to the skill chart here so I can break down Devonta Smith in maybe a different way. All right. And guys, I'm not going to go through every single thing here, but the traits that really stand out for me are obviously the hands. His hands are off the chart. He has such strong and good hands. He catches absolutely everything. If there's traffic around him, it doesn't matter. He's going to bring the ball down. I have him at 7.2 and a 7.1 for athleticism and quickness. Checks the box plus some, both of those categories. Contested catch, brings down just about everything, like I said. Contact balance is one of the lower grades. It's still a positive grade for me, by the way. 4.5 is a low grade. Nothing on this skill chart is really even close to a 4.5, so that just speaks to the elite prospect that he certainly is, and I don't want to take that away from him. Absolutely an elite prospect. Contact balance is that low, obviously, for the reasons I talked about. Slight frame, definitely can get pushed around by bigger corners that can keep up with him athletically. Body control off the charts, that kind of goes hand in hand with contested catch. He is so good at maneuvering his body to bring down the ball and land in bounds. All of those things, top notch. His release is amazing at an 8. That is an elite score. Separation, solid grade. Blocking at a 6. Yeah, look, he did everything you'd ask for him. Sometimes he does get overpowered, but here and there, but it really was few and far between. So it's definitely a positive grade there as well. All in all, an absolutely awesome player. I am very excited to see what he does at the next level, see where he goes, see how teams use him. There is one other thing that I did want to mention, really two things that I'm going to mention before I get out of here. One, I do think that everyone needs to calm down a little bit with the stats, right? His stats were off the charts, and he definitely earned that. I don't want to take anything away from him. But I will say a lot of his numbers did come from design plays, right? Alabama's passing game revolved around Devonta Smith, especially after Jalen Waddle got hurt in this past season, right? Once Jalen Waddle was hurt, the entire passing game essentially revolved around how can we get Devonta Smith the ball, right? So that meant drag routes, that meant bubble screens, that meant quick slants, that meant scheme design plays where there's a pick or there's a, something else that gets him wide open. So I do think the stats are a little bit inflated. Hey, that's how he became the Heisman winner. I'm very, very happy. As I said at the beginning of this video, very happy a wide receiver earned the Heisman. He absolutely deserved it. I'm very excited to see him at the next level, but the stats are a little bit overblown. All right. And the second thing I want to touch on is my rankings for Devonta Smith. I know I already said that I have him going 15 to 25. And by the way, I don't think that's an insult. Jerry Jeudy went 15th last year. He was a stud. We have CD Lamb that went, 17th last year. He was awesome. Justin Jefferson went early 20s last year. Awesome player. And I had all three of those guys ranked very, very highly, very similarly to how I have Devonta Smith ranked, right? So right in that same group of guys, that is definitely where I could see those guys going. And listen, last year, if Jerry Jeudy would have gone 9th or 8th, I wouldn't have been mad or anything. I wouldn't have been shaking my fist saying that's a terrible move. And if Devonta Smith goes 7th to the Chargers or something along those lines, I'm not going to be shaking my fist saying that's a terrible move. I will say there's this comparison that I've seen online, at least in my little bubble of social media and things like that, that there's a real argument between who's better, Ja'Marr Chase or Devonta Smith. I'll put my 2 cents in. I don't think it's close. I think Ja'Marr Chase is significantly better than Devonta Smith. I think Ja'Marr Chase is a wide receiver I would consider taking at number 3 if I'm the Dolphins. Legitimately think he's a top 5 pick at wide receiver, which is saying a lot for me in this class. And if you follow this channel from last year or have listened to the podcast or anything like that, you know that I'm really, really into draft value and getting the most out of your draft picks. So for me to say a wide receiver going top 3, top 5, yeah, that's saying a lot for me. I'm a huge fan of Ja'Marr Chase. I think he is really, really good. And I definitely think Ja'Marr Chase is a better prospect than Devonta Smith. I wanted to put that out there. Listen, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think I got wrong in this video, what you agree with, what you like. Let me know if there's anybody you would like me to do a draft profile on. Leave it in the comments and I will definitely get to it. Leave a like for me on this video. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, if you are interested in more content just like this. All right, guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.